The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the WayFM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. If you want something that feels different from the regular news, we've got you covered. It's News-ish on The Wally Show.
In Texas, temps have been in the upper 90s, even making it to the triple digits some days. So needless to say, it's hot and dry, making it a matchbox ready to blow for any resident who thinks it's a good idea to light fireworks this 4th of July. And that's why Round Rock, Texas has been trying to get this message across to the locals, telling them for a while that fireworks are illegal in the area. But I guess those messages have gone in one ear and out the other, so they decided to call up their good friend Sesame Street's Elmo. Yes, you heard me right, Elmo, to post a video giving the same warning with a caption that reads, quote, "Since y'all didn't understand the last few times we said it, here's Elmo to put it on a level even a 5-year-old can understand."
Using or having fireworks in Round Rock is a big no-no. You could end up with a fine up to $2,000. Fireworks might seem fun, but they can cause big problems. No more fireworks. Got it? Good. Elmo loves you. Happy 4th of July.
Okay, and I love...
There's two different reactions here. Gavin's over here going, "Oh, that's so cute."
Yeah.
And you're over there giggling.
I love that Elmo loves me and wants to keep me safe, but I also know human nature. And somebody that's wearing a airbrushed American flag, sleeveless, and the sleeves were cut off by themselves, T-shirt and jorts on 4th of July... That Elmo warning is going to have zero effect.
I just want to read for you some...
It will make them actually make fireworks in the shape of Elmo and blow them up.
Well, let me read for you some comments that some Texans left, okay? Because
Don't mess with Texas.
That's where the gold mine is, okay? One person said, "Yeah, but what does Oscar the Grouch think?" Which is great. One person said, "Did you say light up more fireworks?" Another person said, "So if I'm willing to pay the fine, it's legal then?"
Yeah, yes.
And what's so funny is the Red Rocks Facebook page, they're commenting back, and all it is are just GIFs of Elmo just looking really defeated. And it's so funny.
That is
because
awesome.
no one's paying attention.
Betty Rock is definitely onto something. Whenever you see something in the news that seems kind of weird or could be comical, always read the comments. I always forget to. That's where the massive amounts of humor are.
It's so good.
Well, there you go. So good luck in Round Rock, Texas.
The
to
good
Elmo.
news is that Red Rocks, what is
Round
this?
Rock.
Round Rock in Texas. Hey, Elmo loves you.
Yeah,
and I
true.
think that's really what matters.
I do think so too. We play so many great songs here on WayFM. Why would anyone try to monkey with them and make them better? Hey, it's the Wally Show on Uplifting WayFM, but for some reason, I do. Like, I hear things, and I just... Like a minor bird, I repeat them, but I repeat them as I hear them, like certain little parts of songs. Betty and Gavin get to hear this all the time, and you guys have started even singing them the way I sing them, too.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for everyone involved.
Yeah, like whenever a song comes up, like, okay, here's an example. Andrew Rip, this song, there's one part of this that I always sing a different way.
I've been stacking up the years I spent trading punches with the enemy.
Okay, trading punches with the enemy. That goes like this in my head.
Stacking up the years I spent
trading punches with the enemy. And so I always do it. Trading punches with the enemy.
And we always know when that song comes on, we go, trading punches with the enemy.
Exactly. Everybody gets in. And now people will be doing that. Lauren Daigle, Alone. Great song.
Trying to fight my fears.
Alone. Yeah. Like I go really low because she gets low in her range there, and so I go alone.
It's like you focus on one little thing in a song and then you make it very exaggerated.
I do. That's exactly what I do. Like Ann Wilson, Strong.
Strong. Try to make them all.
I do it like Betty would do it.
Strong.
strong. I always
Strong.
I go strong, like a hard G on it. And then possibly my favorite is Michael W. Smith.
Yes, it is. Oh.
That is who you are. A lot of Cookie Monster. That one almost feels like the Lauren Daigle. But you guys even do, yes, it is.
Yeah, I go, yes, it is.
Yeah, see? It's catchy. Yep. And so here's what I'm curious about, okay? I know that that's what I do. But are there songs that you hear that you sing differently in your head than it's sung? I would love to know if I'm the only one that does this. I don't think I am.
No.
But it is possible, okay?
Yeah, but it's that one song, when it comes on the air, you're going to say this one. It's
yes, it is.
It's like you can't not say
exactly. Okay, so I'm curious. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. If you do this, I'd love to hear the song you do it with. So, Antonio, do you do this with a song as well?
Yeah. The song that I have in mind is Thunder by Imagine Dragons.
Oh, yeah, I know this song. Gavin's got it. Here.
Thunder, feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder.
Instead, I sing it like, thunder, feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder, feel the thunder.
Oh, you actually make it musical. Like you actually use notes and stuff.
You actually make it better,
Yeah,
whereas
yes.
Wally makes it worse.
I don't know. The Michael W. Smith song that I do, it's pretty spot on.
Well,
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh.
Antonio, thanks for being on the show with us, man.
Oh, thank you very much for answering.
When Airbnb first came out, I thought it was weird, I'll be honest with you. Hey, it's the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM. You're like, I'm renting someone's house? This is odd. But then Gavin took Airbnb to a whole new creepy level recently when you signed up for Swimmingly, you and your friends.
So it's called Swimply.
Swimply, okay.
Simply, but with the W.
Okay.
And all you do on the website right now, you literally can rent people's pools.
So weird.
And I will say this too. I was browsing the other options. You can also rent people's private pickleball courts and a bunch of other things too.
I do like that.
But I think that there is this odd level to it because you're going into someone else's backyard essentially where they could still be in their home watching you
enjoy their pool.
Swim. But it's a service. It's available.
But that's the thing. There's no guarantee that these people won't be at their own home.
Right.
And so you could... I would be worried about them watching me and I do something wrong or I leave a little sneaker skid mark or something on their pickleball courts or, block a bubble jet in their jacuzzi and they're going to come out and get on to me.
I think maybe if I am renting out my pool, I want to be home. For that knock on the door that's like, hey, can I use your bathroom? Absolutely.
That's
Come
right.
on in.
That's right. Do they even approach the bathroom situation?
They do list it out. So there's this one that I'm looking at right now. It says no restroom available.
Exactly. See?
Some of them do have
then they're
access to it.
Yes,
pool.
that was my point.
The pool.
So, yeah, I would want to be home for
No,
this.
thank you.
That's an odd service. So you and your friends signed up.
Yeah.
Is it an above ground pool?
No, it's an in-ground pool. And
feels weird
there's
to
a
me.
water slide that goes
It
into it.
feels like anyone that owns, unless you've made other bad life decisions and you need to keep your house, that if you've spent money, because pools can be $100,000 in Tennessee for sure, for a basic pool, and you are renting it out, you probably don't, I would think that's not like the nice house, and the nice pool.
Yeah.
But it is. You say the pictures are good.
It looks good, and
All
there's
right.
a ton of good. There are some options. The $25 an hour pools are the above ground.
The ones that you're probably going to get an earache from.
Yeah.
So, all right. 855-33-WAY-FM. That is an odd service that I did not even consider. What other odd services are out there that maybe you have used? Swimply? There you go. Knock yourself out. I'll probably never do that. But I'd love to know if there's other things like this that you've tried. 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours now. What is a weird service that you are aware of?
So I'm aware of, and I just want to preface that I did not use it, that there's actually a service someone told me about with my ex-husband last called the Snuggle Time. and you actually rent somebody to come snuggle with you, no strings attached.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
I am looking it up.
Oh, you are, Rock.
This is undeniably one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. These people consider themselves certified cuddlists.
Oh.
There's a trained cuddlist, so she trains cuddlers?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Well, you know what? It's really hard to find work when you get out of prison, so I think that this is probably a great service for them and for other
That
people.
is so weird.
So, Joy, you didn't take your friend up on that suggestion, huh?
Oh, absolutely not. I said hard pass for me.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Betty just became a platinum member.
No way.
Betty's love of crime shows has me concerned because I think that she's not learning how to protect herself, but rather how to set me up for a crime.
Oh, I for sure am.
It's a Gone Girl situation is what I'm thinking.
I'm glad I've got you right where I want you.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. You know, you need someone in your life that will set you up for success, not failure.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I felt with CCU. I mean, I felt intimidated considering going back to school as an adult after being out for so long, but I was set up for success with CCU from my first conversation all the way to graduation. Most classes are only 5 weeks long, which means you can earn your degree and still have time to do whatever you want.
Yeah, 5-week classes, that's even good for people with like ADHD. Like for
Like
me,
you.
I know I needed short classes so I could focus when I went back to school because Betty Rock and I kind of lived the same life.
Find out more about how you can pursue your passion and find your calling with Colorado Christian University at online.ccu.edu. Colorado Christian University is a nonprofit impact partner.
Sifting through the insanity to find you something that feels good.
Mucho joy. I like to give away joy for free.
It's News-ish on The Wally Show.
Here's a little inspiration for you today if there's something you think you can't do. There is a 58-year-old grandmother who competed in the Olympic trials. So that's impressive.
Dang.
I know. To be able to compete on that level, you've got to be something special at 58. She competed to represent the U.S. in Paris in the race walk event. Now, it's not running, because that's really hard on the knees at 58, but it's that thing where you walk really fast. Now, Betty, I think you can agree. You've seen my walk work in an airport.
Oh, I mean, it's triathlon worthy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just so fast. It's like he's got tunnel vision, and he's the same height as me, but
Yeah.
I have to sprint to catch up with him.
I think I might have a future in the Olympics, or at least the elderly Olympics in this. Because I can walk really fast. I can't do it for long distances. I got to work on my stamina, but I'm fast. And I don't know if I'm as fast as this lady because she's pretty amazing. They say she's a physical marvel. She's the third fastest U.S. woman ever in race walking. She competed in the 92, 96, and 2000 Olympics, but came out of retirement to attempt to make the team this year.
That is awesome. She
Yeah.
must have really good joints.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. And so she came in third. So she got bronze. I don't think that means she makes the team. I think they only take the first two, but maybe she is an alternate or something like that, which would be really cool. She does still hold the Olympic record from the 2000 Olympics, though.
Wow.
Like, I mean, that's impressive. So, I mean, if you're thinking, I'm too old to do this, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, she might be very inspiring, because, I mean, look, 58 to compete at that level, most of us have to rock ourselves up and back to get off a couch. And this
And go,
lady's out there killing it. Yeah, so you can make that change. Make that change today. I never pictured Zach Williams as the kind of guy that would hold a grudge, but apparently I was wrong. Hey, it's the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM. We recently had Zach in to do a teachable moment where Betty Rock asked different artists to teach us something new, and he was going to teach us how to patch a hole in drywall. But there was a problem because we didn't necessarily have a hole in the drywall, and so he took it upon himself to remedy that situation.
We're going to patch a hole here in just a minute.
Okay.
So we don't have a hole, so we need.
That's where you stepped in.
We need to
Come
put
here.
a hole in.
We'll
Okay.
fix that. Take your glasses off.
What?
Just pull those glasses off.
Oh, in case it's.
You remember that time you made me eat cat food?
Yeah, why?
All right, here we go.
Oh, no. Oh, it didn't go in.
One more time. Oh.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for having me take my glasses off. God bless you.
This has been the best teachable moment so far.
Yeah, that smashing is my head going through drywall.
And it's fantastic.
Betty right there, like that made her year. That was her bonus. That was her Christmas bonus, everything.
And
all
birthday, yes. Yes.
Yep. He exacted his revenge for the cat food eating thing we did years ago.
And you can actually view this whole thing happening when you text WALL, 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 to 91979. We'll send you a link.
I would encourage you, too, to look at it because we don't fake things on this show. You might think, oh, Wally's head, it kind of hits it and he kicks it to make the noise that you heard with his foot. Not true at all. The foot was nowhere near it. That was all forehead. My forehead had a mark on it, and I was I did have a headache the rest of the day. So you need to check it out. Again, like Betty said, just text the word WALL, WALL, to 91979, and we'll send you a link. If you've ever heard me say something on the show and thought, I would like to put that boy's head through a wall, this is the video for you.
Oh, what's this? An email? For me?
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. If you ever want to get a hold of me, just wally@wayfm.com. A subject line, amateur first responder. Yes, because that's what I am. And I love, this person is very much like me. They're like an Enneagram 8. The amateur first responder, a potty. Said it drives me crazy when I watch those stories of retail theft where people just grab things and run.
And people just sit there and watch them?
Yeah, well, she says, a few days ago, I got my opportunity. I was in a store that sells camping goods. Walked past a man near the front door at the camping section. I walked back past him again, and his cart seemed odd. It was piled very high and pointed directly out the door. Uh-oh. As I turned around, he darted out the door with the cart, and I asked an employee standing there if the guy stole all that stuff. And she said yes, but she wasn't allowed to go out the door after him. I hesitated for a second, and as he looked back over his shoulder, I saw some stuff topple off. I stepped out of the door and yelled, "Hey!" in my loudest teacher voice. "What do you think you're doing?" The guy jumped like a scared rabbit in the air. I looked right at his face, and I took a step in his direction. He then pushed the cart towards me and yelled, "Keep it," as he and his friend ran off. As they got around the corner of the building, I called in a much nicer tone, "You're better than this." And he responded, "I know." I picked up everything, rolled it back into the store, and the manager gave me a begrudging thanks. Like, what?
Begrudging?
What's her deal?
No!
I'm sure that they don't want to encourage their customers to take an active role in crime prevention. I thought I handled it safely. I wasn't trying to block his way or fight. I just yelled. But my adrenaline was super high, and I felt like a superhero. And I was most proud of being able to show some kindness at the end. Tammy. Love it.
Okay, Wally, hypothetical.
Yeah.
In that same situation, what would you have done? Would you have done the same as Tammy or no?
Oh, I would have tried to, as he ran out, trip him. Like, I've thought of this. I've thought of this so many ways.
Of course
You want this to happen.
I do.
Yeah,
I've thought of
he's
this.
willing it to happen.
Yeah, I've thought it's like you trip them because they're in such a hurry to get out, and then they drop stuff, and you don't have to get into a fight with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've thought of that. Another one, I saw people stealing TVs from a Best Buy, and they left their car running and the door open. I would just walk by, take their keys, and throw them in a storm cellar or storm drain.
Yeah.
And then, like, what do you do now? Now you're really hosed.
They'd probably turn around and sue you somehow.
I'm sure they would. But yeah, so I, like Tammy, am ready when I'm called for action. I'll probably fold like a lawn chair. But Tammy, you are a hero, girl. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and we are turning back time with Time Capsule Tuesday. We pick a year, and then each of us pick a song, and you get to hear them, and you say which song you like the best and why. So you, in essence, validate our musical taste, for one of us at least. And the important thing is why you like that song, why it connected with you then or why it connects with you now. And so we're going to start with me. This is my offering from what year, Lady Rock?
2011.
Yes, going way back to this lady, and I love this song.
'Cause what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? And what if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know your needs?
Laura Story and Blessings. I used to always say it, blessings. I love this line here.
Are your mercies in
What if the trials of this life are just mercies in disguise? What a great perspective on pain.
Yeah.
So I like that one. That's mine. Let's go Gavin next. Who did you pick?
So I picked Royal Taylor, which I remember them like from this long time ago, and I'd never realized that was Torrin Wells.
Oh, yeah.
As the
yeah,
lead.
yeah.
I didn't realize this was like his
He
first
was in a
band.
boy band.
Yeah, he was in essence, and then he went out to be a man band.
Can you hold me together? Can your love reach down this far? Can you hold me together?
Yeah, that's really good. That's still really good. I like that. Torrin's a great singer,
Oh, yeah.
so not a bad selection. Where are we going with you, Lady Rock?
I'm going with a classic.
Okay.
Aaron Schust, My Hope Is in You.
Oh, okay.
My hope is in you, Lord, all the day long. I won't be shaken by drought or storm.
Aaron Schust. Had some funny times with Aaron back in the day. Like when we asked him to write a song about the tough verses in the Bible, and he did the one about Elijah calling down the bears to eat those kids.
So good.
So good. That was his best song. This is his second best song. So now you get to tell us which of these three songs connects with you. Which is the best song of those three and why? The why is the important part. So we'll take yours now. 855-33-WAY-FM. Who has the best taste in music today? Gavin, Betty, or myself? 855-33-WAY-FM. All right, Peggy, here we go. It is Time Capsule Tuesday. You have heard the three choices up for grabs. There was Laura Story Blessings, that was mine. Royal Taylor, Hold Me Together, Gavin's. And My Hope Is in You, Aaron Schust, Betty Rocks. Who has the best taste in music today?
Absolutely you do, Wally.
Oh, I love it. Laura's Story. I think people would have maybe put that on Betty, but that was my choice, and I love it.
And
I
it's
love the message.
Definitely the slowest option, the most mellow option. So why did you choose that one?
In my devotions recently, it's been the recurring theme, what our pastor would say, without a test, there is no testimony.
Yeah, and that one line in this song sums it all up. What if the failures of this life are your mercies in disguise? Because sometimes the thing that we think is the worst for us ends up being, in God's economy, the best thing for us. So here we go. Peggy has called it. It is Laura Story Blessings from 2011, the Time Capsule Tuesday winner today.
All right, thanks, Wally.
We pray for blessings. We pray for peace.
The regular news can be a steady stream of negativity.
Mischievous and deceitful, chicanerous and deplorable.
But we like to see the brighter side of things. It's News-ish on The Wally Show.
What you got, Gavin?
There are numerous different pathways towards losing weight. You can do it through diet, exercise, or you can use Ozempic, the wonder drug helping a lot of people shed weight these days. And
Sure.
I know a lot of people who are taking it, seeing great results. And for people who take Ozempic, they may soon actually have this counterpart to Ozempic available for chunky cats and dogs, as pharmaceutical companies are racing to develop a product pets can use.
Ozempic
as well.
for pets, because I've seen some of those dogs where they put them on little water treadmills and stuff.
They're so cute.
And you're like, that's not the thing about having an obese animal. If it's in your house, it's kind of your fault. Because they can't think about it. They can't just go to the fridge or they can't on their way home from work stop by McDonald's. Like, you have to be feeding them, and so you control the entire intake that they have.
That's true. But I did have a cat, Gustafer Cornelius,
Right.
may he rest in peace, but he had a broken thyroid, and he was big boned.
Sure.
And so I don't know if technically that was my fault, but also
But you need to lock this stuff up, and then he couldn't have got it.
Well, I tried, and then
I
he
know.
dug into the cat bag.
Yeah.
Like, he literally climbed up on a shelf and knocked it down and ate a hole through
I
the
had
bag.
a big bag of treats for both dogs,
Yeah.
for both animals that would last me a couple weeks. And there's just one day when I think we left it on a shelf a little too low, and
Sure.
I came home and Jasper had torn the whole thing
That's
up.
the thing.
and-
We can control the weight of our pets far better than we control our own weight,
Amen.
honestly. So I think this might be a good idea for pets. My fear is it will be a little cheaper, and people will be like, "Pff, I should take the pet Ozempic.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
We're getting into
I
their
just
treats.
thought of that. Yes. Like that could actually be something not healthy to do.
You have 127 items in your Amazon cart. It's prime time.
Someone on this show has an online shopping addiction. Hey, it's the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM. And I think if you were to
Hello, Pot. This is Kettle.
I know. I think that it would be a tie between Betty and me, honestly. I do my
I don't know. I think Gavin
share.
secretly does. He just doesn't talk about it.
I just don't want you
know.
guys to realize how big of a problem I have.
Yeah, no, Gavin's is gambling.
No.
No.
Stop it!
My recent purchase from Amazon ended up being a water sensory pad for cats.
Okay.
You heard me right. Do you mix cats and water? No. And it had a 1.5 star review.
Oh, wow. 1.5, you say?
And that was 3 reviews. It was going to cost me $20, $19.99. But I thought, my 2 cats, my 2 boys, they are my babies. And so I thought, I'm going to just try it. I get it in the mail. It comes with patches for when they poke holes in them.
Okay.
It also came for claw clippers, so
Nice.
to clip their claws before they play with the water
Good idea.
sensory pad. All great ideas. So that should have been red flag number 1. But then I had it out for them. I filled it up, and it lasted not even an hour.
Oh, really?
And already there was a hole in it because they don't tell you that you can trim their claws,
Yeah.
but you can't trim their teeth.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
they bit it?
Yeah. So anyways, a little hole poked through, and I had a fountain in my living room.
Nice.
And I should have known,
Yeah,
but
the
I tried it
reviews.
anyway.
I do look at reviews now, more so than ever. I used to I'll make my own mind up. But now, people, I know I'm stubborn, but it's true. I don't want to be told what to do. But people will give you some really valuable tips
will.
in those things.
And I should have listened.
Yeah, you should have definitely listened. But you bought it anyway.
Yep.
So
And I can't return it.
we're curious for you. What is that thing that you probably knew was not going to be a good purchase, but you bought it anyway? The pasta boat for me was my all-time worst purchase
What was
online.
wrong with it?
It just didn't work like it was supposed to. It was
was it
supposed to
supposed
cook pasta in 3 minutes, and it didn't.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, in the microwave, too.
And then he ended up buying 2 of them.
Well, I got 2... I don't read the fine print a lot of
But
times.
wait, there's more.
I know they got me. For
Buy
just
one, get one.
$7 shipping, you say? Yes, I can have 2 of these and share them? Absolutely. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. Just curious if you've been in Betty's position here where you bought something that you read the reviews, but you bought it anyway. And how did it work out for you? Did it live down to the reviews or up to the hype? So 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours now. Where is your star limit of so out of 5 on Amazon, 4.5, I don't even wince at that. 4, I'm pretty much good. 3.5, I start getting sus.
Yeah, I start reading the comments that have a 3-star rating.
Yeah.
Why did you give it a 3?
Yeah.
But the problem was that I didn't even pay attention. I learned my lesson the hard way because I bought that sensory water pad for a cat. Yes, one that has claws. I trimmed them. It didn't seem to help. It didn't even last an hour. But I ended up having a hole chewed into it within an hour. So, lesson learned. I got to read those comments.
Well, that's kind of what we're talking about, too, is that thing that you thought, oh, this is probably not going to be a good purchase, but you decided to do it anyway, and you bought it anyway. That's what Betty Rock did.
Yeah, it turns out Tammy, she shared on our Facebook page, she should have read the description a little bit closer. She said, I wanted to buy a watering can to water my outdoor plants. Okay. So she orders it. Box comes through the mail. She opens the package, and she said, I'm looking at a 4-inch tall pot, maybe that can hold a cup of water.
Yeah, I get it. I almost did that once. The picture looked so good. I'm like, this is a nice chair, and how can it be this cheap? And it was like a doll chair. I'm like, wait, you gotta look. Read the fine print, or else it will hose you. There are times when you hear some stories and you're like, man, that is a rough story. I wish there was something that could be done about it. Hey, it's the Wally Show on Uplifting Way FM. And that's the beautiful thing about the prayer wall. There are a lot of stories on the prayer wall And there is something that can be done about it. You can pray for these prayer requests. There's one from Ben. It says, my nephew ran away from his house the other night, so they've been having problems with Ben's nephew for a little bit of time, and the CPS was called, and they got involved and threatened to take all 3 kids away if it happened again. It's this second time it happened. My nephew said he hated my mom and dad, or his mom and dad, and that he loved the devil. It's like, ooh, that's ratcheting it up a little bit. And then some really vile things that the spiritual attack embittered in him. Please, please, please lift all of them up in your awesome, powerful prayers. So here's somebody that believes in the power of prayer, which I love. And they're like, you know what? There's not a lot we can do about this, but man, you guys can help us pray through this and pray for this kid that is lost right now, and is really putting his family through the ringer. And he's like, I'm just throwing it out there, and will you pray for this? And the beautiful thing is, people will pray. Like on average, 17 people pray for each prayer request. We have people that work here that pray for things. We have people just like you that listen and go, oh, I'm going to go pray for some stuff today too. So it's a pretty cool community that you can be a part of, either requesting prayer or praying for. And I think the best stories are when you're doing both. You're putting something up there because you got a need and you want people to pray for it. And then while you're there, take a few minutes, pray for somebody else, because you might find that it starts to change something in you as well.
And you can check out the prayer wall when you text the word pray, P-R-A-Y, pray to 91979, and we will send you a link. That's pray to 91979. Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. If it's trending, streaming, or starring, Betty Rock's got it on The Rock Report.
Actress Lupita Nyong'o has made a name for herself in films like Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and Marvel's Black Panther. And she's now starring in the new installment of the Quiet Place movie series, A Quiet Place Day One.
Yeah, it's like an origins movie for that. And she's really good in it, honestly. Like, she doesn't have to say a lot. I mean, it's a pretty quiet movie. There's not a lot of dialogue. If they were getting paid by the word, they would all have gone broke.
Well, in the film, she plays a cancer patient who's fighting for her life, not only from the sickness, but also while facing the threat of an alien invasion.
Yes.
And in a recent interview, she claims her character's performance was affected by what she saw late fellow actor and close friend Chadwick Boseman walk through in real life with his colon cancer diagnosis. You remember him as the Black Panther and the Marvel superhero.
Right.
And he sadly passed away from that diagnosis, but she saw it firsthand, what he had to walk through. She stated about filming A Quiet Place, she said, I came to realize that it's really important to be reminded of our mortality, because then we live a life just a little more intentionally. When we think we have all the time in the world, we can really take people for granted and experiences for granted.
Oh, absolutely. That's true in life. It's true in our faith, too. Like if we believe in heaven and hell, like we do, and to not share your faith with people is kind of like sad, and it's like a responsibility that we have as part of our faith. And so she's right. We need to be more intentional with our faith, just like with our regular relationships as well.
And it doesn't take us having to be actors to figure that out.
No, exactly. And the one thing I will say about this movie is that dumb cat. Like the cat, there's a cat in it.
Her character played,
Yeah, she has a cat. And
there's no such thing as a dumb cat.
They all spend their entire movie trying to save this cat.
Well,
and
bless it.
Yeah.
It's worth saving.
I don't know about that. Like, it just keeps showing up, and then they're going after this cat. You got aliens chasing you. Leave the cat. Just leave the cat. Let it go. Be intentional with everyone else. Leave the cat.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. If you have ever lived in a neighborhood that has a neighborhood app, you've probably gone on it and seen some crazy things that people say. Okay.
And I think you're going to have to speak from experience because I've never had this experience.
Okay. So there's like an app called Nextdoor, or people do it on Facebook. They have groups, and then it's like all the neighbors being neighborly and commenting and stuff when they hear things or see things. And so here's an example of one I got at 4:39 in the morning. Yeah, good times. They're always awake. So it says, did anyone hear a loud noise? Okay, so there are people on this app that are freaked out by loud noises. Sounds like gunshots. Okay, we live in Tennessee, and we live south of the main city. Gunshots are just a normal thing where I live,
America.
And it's not.
That might be Californians that have moved
I think
here.
so.
Yeah, and they're not used to it.
I agree with you 100%, but here's the best part of what makes this funny. Subject, loud noise. Did anyone else hear a gunshot? Maybe with a silencer attached?
Whoa.
So what's the loud noise?
I don't know. I'm not making this stuff up. So subject, loud noise, but then it was... They think then they're theorizing that it was a gunshot, but it had a silencer, which would make it not loud. And how do you know what a silencer sounds like?
Did you look at the comments? That's where I would be eager to know. It seems like this would be a heyday for you, Wally. Yeah. As someone who lives in that neighborhood, it seems like you would just make things up, comment constantly.
I have thought about that before, but then I would have to care a whole lot more than I do. And so I don't go on there and comment. But you're right. That would be that'd be fun weekend plans.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, but I just love that it went to maybe with a gunshot with a silencer attached. That's next level. I mean, and that's just one of the things that I see all the time on our app. So I am curious, do you have a neighborhood app, and what are some of the crazy things that you've seen people post on that app? 855-33-WAY-FM. I'd love for you to, because Betty Rock doesn't have a neighborhood app where she lives, and I don't think, Gavin, you don't either, right?
No, I've never.
Okay.
We might, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, so I'd love for you to enlighten them on the joys of neighborhood apps and what people post. So 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours right now. What have you seen posted, Melissa?
So I was probably the one that posted it. We first moved into my neighborhood, and I had surprise lilies around my mailbox. And I noticed them one day, and I took a picture, and the next day I left, and I was like, all my flowers are gone. So I posted on the neighborhood website, hey, if you wanted flowers, all you had to do was knock on my door and ask. Well, come to find out, people commented on there and said that it was the deer coming by and eating them. And I was like, there's no way. But yes, every year I get surprise lilies, and they last about 1 to 2 days, and the deer come by and they eat them.
Allegedly. If you ever set up a camera, I might set up a camera because I don't trust Rick down the street from you at all.
He looks like a flower stealer.
Right.
And now for some good news.
Uplifting! OAFM, this here is the Wally Show. A little bit of good news. Giddy up. It's a roundup of some good news stories because the regular news can be a bit of a bummer. We're going to start with you, Betty Lou.
I've got a super cute story. There's a story going around of a 9-year-old girl in Pittsburgh. Her name is Ivy, and she had to say goodbye to her cat, Steve.
No, not Steve. He was so young. Why, God?
Last month when he passed away at 16 years old.
Okay, understandable, Lord.
This is good news. Well, she wanted to honor Steve's memory in some way, so she decided to set up a lemonade stand in front of her house.
Nice.
And she was going to give all the money she made to a cat rescue called Nose to Tell.
Oh, I love it.
She raised $150.
Okay.
And while you might think, well, that's not going to make much of a difference, the good news is she's planning to do it again for the 4th of July this week and to raise even more money. And I think because this story got out, I mean, it made local news, I think she's going to make a whole lot more money. And I think that is just the most perfect idea to commemorate Steve's legacy.
That's the thing. When you see these stories a lot of time, then someone starts a GoFundMe and it raises $150,000. It's easy to see something that raises $150,000 as failure, but nothing could be farther from the truth because it's this little girl.
9 years old.
I know, 9 years old. Got motivated to do something, went out and actually did it, and then was rewarded for it to the tune of $150, and then is turning around and donating that. So actually, that is every bit worthy of a good news story today.
This is Monday School. It's Wally's take on what he learned at church, or at least the parts he understood.
fully aware that it is not Monday, but we have some. I know, sorry about that, but we have something for you in the form of a new podcast. It is our Monday School segment that I do every Monday because I go to church and I listen, I take good notes, and I like to share with people what I learned because there's, you should always pick up something at church, and so I like to share that in a condensed version. So maybe you like sermons, but you don't want 20 minutes of one. Here are the highlights of one and what I kind of picked up from it. And so we call it Monday School, and we do it every Monday. And Pastor Chad was like, hey, why don't we turn it into a podcast? And you could listen to it each Monday, like once a week. You could listen to them every day because we're going to have a bunch of them posted. And so if you want to use it as like a devotional, you could do that as well because they're not long. They're like 5 minutes.
Yeah, if you want to check it out, text the word Monday to 91979. That's Monday to 91979, and we'll send you a link.
That's how easy we made it for you. You literally just have to type the first day of the week. That way you can get it and start listening to it anytime you want on the go. So again, Monday to 91979, and you can check out the Monday School podcast.
Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.